All matches today are dedicated to the memory of our good friend, Ron Mazzola, the voice of the GMC.
Wow.
As we begin the 215-pound final, all matches today are dedicated to the memory of our good friend, Ron Mazzola, the voice of the GMC. The 250-pound weight class is sponsored by One Oak Medical, located throughout the state, including Island. One Oak Medical offers patients comprehensive care for their whole body under one roof and specializes in the recovering athlete, including some in this tournament. Visit oneoakmedical.com. 215 is also sponsored by Flynn Landscape Contractors, full-service landscape contracting firm, proudly serving Union, Somerset, and Middlesex counties for over 10 years. Call 908-809-8309.
Well, both similar wrestlers, probably football players, but Coghan from St. Thomas Aquinas has a huge win over the wrestler from North Hunterdon, who was a 7th-place finisher in the state last year. He pinned him in the finals. I think it was the Governor Livingston tournament. He was named out most outstanding record. So he's 20-5, only a junior, and that's not bad.
He's also the 3rd seed in this tournament. He was able to upset the 2nd seed. He has 3 pins today, but well over 10 minutes of wrestling in that time. But it includes a pin over the 2nd seed of this tournament as well.
Well, this upper mat weight might come down to conditioning also. You know, wrestlers that get lots of pins, sometimes they don't realize they got to work those extra minutes off the mat on conditioning, because that's 4, 3, 4, 2, 1, 5 minutes of not wrestling you're doing, because you pin somebody in 15 seconds. You know, and then that's 5 minutes and 45 seconds of non-activity. So what starts to happen is all those little minutes add up of conditioning it towards the end of the season. So we'll see.
Richard Boateng Baah from Piscataway, the hometown favorite here, is the 5th seed. He was able to stun the 1st seed 5-4 in the semifinals. He also beat the 4 seed in the quarterfinals before that.
Well, you know, when you get 215, anything can happen in the upper weight classes. You know, everybody, I love when people tell me, oh, this weight class ain't that tough. And my response is, well, you go out there and wrestle that kid. Oh, well, that's not really wrestling. That's not really this. Then what do we do? You know? I mean, it is what it is.
So in this scoreless match, Coghan from St. Thomas Aquinas has chosen defense, looking to score the first point.
Nice little sit out there.
In case this goes to overtime, looking to earn the first point criteria as well. The 215-pound weight class, again, is sponsored by One Oak Medical and Flynn Landscape Contractors. And Coghan with the escape. The score is now 1-0. And we have 1 minute and 30 seconds left in the 2nd period.
Very tough to take Coghan off a shot, because he has a lot of his weight, lower leg area. So, but both wrestlers are moving pretty good for the bigger guys, you know. They're very lean for 215-pounders. Short of stature, both of them. Similar builds. And sometimes, you know, upper weight class, it comes down to attrition. You know, getting back to my earlier comment, you can't expect 215-pound kids to move around the mat like 126-pounders. And people all start trying to judge them by, you know, big versus small.
Oh, Boateng Baah. Trying to line him up and
heave home.
And drive right through him. Didn't happen with 22 seconds left.
It's pretty good pace here. Pretty good pace. Pretty good pace. Hey, Pat. How you doing? I just got a text from your brother. Pat's on his way. So he can pass it on to the board. Total disaster. This has been a total embarrassing disaster. Well,
And that's the end of the second period there. Boateng Baah certainly will choose defense. Again, the 215-pound weight class is sponsored by One Oak Medical and Flynn Landscape Contractors. Now the pressure is going to be on Boateng Baah to make sure that he escapes and gets that point back.
Well, you know, both teams are lucky that they have upper weights. You know, the 90 heavyweight for both teams are pretty good so that these guys can wrestle with people. Sometimes the upper weights, you don't have anybody, you know, so you may have a coach that weighs 170, but you're like 215, you throw him around here, but it's a little bit different. But both teams do have some upper weight guys, and it's a huge difference for heavyweights, 215s and 190s to have guys actually your weight to go with. And Piscataway has made a big comeback here, upper weight guys. You know, I think Piscataway is getting the program rolling again. A lot of kids out. They're getting that football wrestling mix like they had in the glory days. And that's the key, you know.
There's going to be a little bit of pressure here. 1 minute and 9 seconds left. Boateng Baah has to figure out how to score some points.
He's got to get up and out.
And he's going to have to do it quickly. He's on his feet. And there's the escape at 1 minute and 2 seconds. The score is 1-1.
All right, takedown wins.
Again, this 215-pound weight class is sponsored by One Oak Medical, located throughout the state, including
Shot
Island.
attempt. Coming down to 26. We could look at overtime here unless one of them gets a little ambitious and tries to win this match in regulation, but
20 seconds. Boateng Baah, he's got it behind. There's a roll. Who's going to get the takedown?
No, not yet.
Nobody's got it yet. Coghan lands on top, and he's getting big points. The score is 3-1. Seconds remain. And there's the pin at 5 minutes and 58 seconds. Stephen Coghan from St. Thomas Aquinas is your GMC champion at 2 minutes and 15 seconds. At the 215-pound weight class, which is sponsored by One Oak Medical and Flynn Landscape Contractors.
well, actually, Piscataway kid was going for the initial takedown. As soon as they came down to the mat, Coghan hit a roll, turned that roll into back points and a pin.
That is his 4th pin of the day, and I don't think anybody else has 4 pins at this point.